If you're still on the fence on whether you think Bitcoin is ever going to go mainstream, I'm here to tell you that it is. And it's about to hit hundreds of banks in the United States, and we're going to talk about it today. Hey everyone, my name is Jeremy, and if you want to follow along on my journey as I build wealth, then subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you don't miss a thing. And remember, none of this is intended to be financial advice. I am literally a guy sitting in front of a computer talking to a camera, but let's get to it. Still, I would venture to say that if you talk to 10 of your friends and family, I bet that less than 3 or 4 of them have or have ever thought about purchasing Bitcoin or any other crypto for that matter. Now, likely if you're watching this video, then that's probably not you. You probably already have some crypto, likely even some altcoins. But the reality is that Bitcoin is still not that mainstream as far as everyday people. But that is about to change, and we're going to talk about that in today's video. Here's the thing. This is about to hit. I actually have a close friend who is pretty high up in a local bank chain, and they are seeing, just like all of these other large banks are seeing, money flow out of their banks and into Coinbase and some of these other exchanges, and they're tired of seeing that money go away. And so what are they going to do? Well, Bitcoin is coming to hundreds of US banks this year. So essentially what's going to happen is these banks, for the first time, customers of some US banks will soon be able to buy, hold, and sell Bitcoin through their existing bank accounts. According to crypto custody firm NYDIG, banks are asking for Bitcoin because they can see their customers sending dollars to Coinbase and other exchanges. Obviously, banks make their money by taking your money and lending it out to other people and making a return on that. But what's happening is, as these people are pulling their money out, they're recognizing that the dollar is not going to be worth anything in the coming months and years. So they're pulling that money out and putting it in the stock market or cryptocurrencies and different things. It says that after rolling out the initial Bitcoin product, NYDIG plans on other services including debit card rewards paid in Bitcoin and a new type of bank account that is FDIC insured but pays interest in Bitcoin. So that's interesting. For the first time, customers of some US banks will soon be able to buy, hold, and sell Bitcoin through their existing accounts, according to crypto custody firm NYDIG. The company, subsidiary of $10 billion New York-based asset manager Stone Ridge, is partnered with fintech giant Fidelity National Information Services to enable U.S. banks to offer Bitcoin in coming months, according to the two firms. So obviously these are going to be custodial wallets. Your bank is going to hold the keys. We've talked about custodial, non-custodial wallets before. I've got a video coming out. It may have already come out by the time you're watching this video. That talks about the difference between the two. But as far as a new crypto investor goes, there really is no easier way than a custodial wallet. And essentially, hundreds of banks in the US are going to allow the everyday average user to speculate in Bitcoin. Now, I suspect that they're not going to deal with any other altcoins, and maybe Ethereum, possibly. But I suspect that it's primarily going to be Bitcoin. But think about what that's going to do to the price of Bitcoin. I speculate that the big dump that we saw last week was likely because a lot of these banks were wanting to buy up some Bitcoin at good prices because they're planning on selling them to their customers whenever they implement this in their bank accounts. It says, up until now, Bitcoin adopters have relied on apps from new generation of fintech players like Robinhood, PayPal, Square, Coinbase. Banks, on the other hand, have steered clear of Bitcoin for retail customers, only recently announcing plans to allow rich wealth management clients to be able to wager on cryptocurrencies. You know, it happens a lot whenever a new investment comes out. First of all, everybody screams that it's risky, it's going to die, it's going to crash, and people get in, and the people who speculate early always make huge amounts of profits, which is what happened with Bitcoin. And then eventually the masses come on board. And right now we're sort of right in that middle point where it's clear that Bitcoin is here to stay for the long term. You had your initial investors get in, make tons of money. Now you've got a second wave of people who are getting in and will likely make a good bit of money. And then lastly, you're going to have just the average Joe, the average person that will buy in and either lose some money or make a little bit, probably not make a ton. It's going to be great for you and I who are already holding a lot of these coins, because it's not only going to boost up the Bitcoin price, but it's going to boost up all other cryptos in general. If we come down here further, it says as hundreds of smaller banks sign on, giants like JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America could face pressure to offer crypto to their retail banking customers, according to Rob Lee, head of digital banking, Fidelity National. Morgan Stanley was the first among banks to offer Bitcoin funds to its clients. And so you've already started to see this, where these investment bankers are starting to offer crypto as an asset to purchase and invest in. And it's just going to be this ongoing thing as it becomes more and more mainstream. You know, 8 years ago, you could say Bitcoin, and a lot of people didn't have any idea what it was. Never had heard about it before. Now, most people have heard of Bitcoin, but still a lot of them don't really understand. They'll say it's blockchain, but they don't even understand what blockchain is. Banks will determine how much to charge their customers for Bitcoin trades and will retain most of that fee revenue according to sales. After rolling out the initial Bitcoin product, NYDIG plans on other services, including debit card rewards paid in Bitcoin and a new type of bank account that is FDIC insured but pays interest in Bitcoin. More people would own Bitcoin if they could do so through their existing banks, according to a survey commissioned by NYDIG that allows them a single view for their financial assets and avoids the need to sign up with another institution and fund the account with money transfer that typically takes 3 to 5 days. I think that what's likely going to happen is you're going to have big banks like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, all of these large banks, and even some smaller ones, that it's basically going to just be a place on their website where you can log into your account, and if you want to purchase some Bitcoin, you can do it. But you're going to have to pay a fee every time that you purchase that, and these banks are just going to rake that price in. And in the end, you still won't have access to your crypto. It'll be held in custody by your bank, and if things really go south, you will likely lose access to that Bitcoin. So what does this mean for you and I who are already in crypto? This price that we just recently experienced, this price drop, really will not have much effect on Bitcoin. I would say that if you're looking to hold Bitcoin, or if you already do hold Bitcoin, the price is likely going to go up. I've said it before that this was probably a coordinated, manipulated attack on the price of Bitcoin. So all of these banks could buy in at Bitcoin at a cheap price, and I suspect that the price will probably rebound to at least 75,000, hit an all-time high, all new all-time high. It could even go up to 100,000, but who knows? It's speculation. Remember, there are only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be created in the world, ever. And remember, there are a ton of Bitcoin that are sitting in wallets that people have lost access to because they've forgotten their seed phrases, or the person that owned it died and they don't have access to those wallets anymore. So who knows what the real amount of Bitcoin in circulation is. Is it 18 million? Is it 15 million? Is it 19, 20 million? Who knows? But I can guarantee you that it will never be 21 million in circulation, because there is so much lost and tied up in wallets across the globe. What this means for people like you and me who are already invested in crypto is that crypto, and Bitcoin especially, is going up. I believe that the spike that we had, or the dip that we had last week, was manipulated and coordinated so that a lot of these banks and institutions could buy up Bitcoin at a low price. And I believe that the price is going to rebound, probably hit 75,000 or more, maybe even 100,000 whenever it rebounds, but it'll definitely hit all new all-time highs. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, share this video with somebody who might want to see it. If you have any interest in the private Patreon group, I put a link in the description. You can go check that out. And I've got another video starting right over here. Go check that one out. I'll see you over there.